focus on hitting your goals in every area of your business. Remember, the universe rewards the bold. A leader has to take the risks.
Good morning, everybody. It's 9 a.m. Leadership Academy. So excited to be with you guys this morning. And we're actually sitting in front of the testing center right now because Max is taking his test. So everybody take a quick little thought right now and send the prayer waves to Max right now, Max Alonzo, and say a little prayer and let's hope that he passes that test today. So no pressure, Max. Okay, let's I'm excited. We have an incredible guest speaker on this morning, and I can't tell you how fired up we are. So many incredible accomplishments this couple has made in their career. I think Chauvon just got on, so I'm not gonna take a whole lot of time. I want her to give us as much time as she can, and hopefully she's she's obviously incredible leader, incredible energy, helping so many people right now, and I just want to let you guys know that she holds the company. Chauvon and Antoine own the company record for the fastest RVP to NSD promotion. First team in Louisiana history to run 100 by 100 base shop. First AALC millennials to make $500,000 and become NSDs. Head coaches of Beast Nation. And man, I'm just so excited. Couldn't be more proud of them. This is an era of greatness that we're having, and she's going to tell us how we can get our piece of that pie, because it's available to everybody. Everybody's got the same shot to become successful here. So I want to please help me recognize and the awesome Chauvon and Antoine Landry.
Hey, Dan, can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us?
Yes.
Hey, man, good morning. Well, I know it's good morning for y'all, right? In Cali, right? Man, on the West Coast, man, shout out to you guys. Appreciate everybody for taking the time out today and hopping on, man. We're going to have a great time this morning, right? And have a fired up Friday, right? But Daniel and Carm, I just want to say we appreciate y'all for even thinking of us, right? Even thinking of us highly enough to invite us to speak to your team on this beautiful Friday, right? We know y'all are like legends in the company, right? Known for doing phenomenal stuff, so y'all can pick anybody in the world to speak to y'all. So that the fact that y'all thought of the beast, right, is a blessing for us, and we are honored to speak to y'all. And so with that, like I said, Chauvon's gonna kick it off and share her tips of success, and I'm gonna come on and close it out. But team, just like Dane was mentioning before we hopped on, we're just not in special times in the company, right? But we are also in extreme times in the country, right? Right now, I mean, all over the world, this is the first time in American history, right? You do your research, the first time in American history where one thing is affecting the whole nation at the same time, plus some other countries. Normally when you have bad things happening in the country, you know, it only affects one part, right? Like we from New Orleans, Louisiana. I know years ago, people remember Hurricane Katrina, right? Well, that was one of the most, if not the most devastating thing that happened to an area in the nation's history. But that was down south though, right? As bad as it was, that was New Orleans. That did not affect West Coast. But then you look at the fires and stuff like that, right? That happened on the West Coast. As bad as it is, that don't affect us down south. But this COVID season is the first time one thing has affected everybody, and it's got everybody in the same mind frame right now, which is simply, what can I do and where can I go and what can I do to start making the same money I've been making to provide for my family from the safety of my own home. It used to be convenient money, right? The fact that you could build a business from home, blah, 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 and live how you want to live, that was a convenience or more of a luxury. But now, because of the COVID impact and nobody really having a handle on it like that, and some people say this, some people say that, now the game is, now you got to find a way to provide from your house from a safety standpoint. And for the parents that have kids, yeah, y'all know we got 4 kids, man. My oldest daughter just turned 13. I got a teenager, man. And man, listen, I'm nervous as a duck in the desert right now, right? I'm trying to figure out when she's dating and stuff like that, man. I'm trying to figure out what's my spiel gonna be to these dudes, man. But anyway, but I got a son that's 9 and 2 baby girls that's 4 and 3. But one of the concerns, this is big, one of the concerns for parents, right, all over the country that still have school-age kids is, okay, well, what's the plan for these kids to go back to school, right? Some states have said, okay, well, all the kids are coming back. Some states have, have reverted to all virtual, and then some schools are giving parents the option. But think about this, right, in terms of design. If you're a parent, you got small kids, man, like what a lot of people don't talk about, Karma, a lot of times with kids is when we send our kids to school, right? We talk about education, but if we're honest, what school was for a lot of parents across America is a daytime babysitter, right? Because you think about somebody, if you drop your kids off 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, right before 8 o'clock, and then you don't pick them up to, let's say, 2:30, 3 or 4 o'clock, don't let them have extracurricular activities. Now you into the aftercare, now the coaches get them, right? And 5, 6 o'clock. So from the time early in the morning to 5, 6 o'clock, 12 hours out of the day, we're not really responsible for our kids, right? The teachers have them during the daytime, and then the coaches and counselors and personal trainers and tutors having them at the evening. So now, if these kids are not able to go to a physical school, we're just not losing the educational experience or the social experience. For a lot of parents, you're losing the babysitter, the 12-hour babysitter every day. So now if your kids are forced to learn from home, right? And you can't physically go out to work and leave them that night. You really got to start talking to people about thinking, okay, well, what are you going to do right now? Because it's almost August, right? And this time is coming. So, man, I believe, man, we have the action. We've always had the best opportunity in the world. It's not nothing new, but I think based on what's happening economically, the reality, right? I think more of the market's mind is being opened that day. All the stuff in Primerica people used to say to us, it is true, and it is coming to fruition now more than ever. Part of the reason why you're seeing the company's success that you're seeing all over the country. It's crazy right now, the money people are making, right? So without further ado, I'm excited to talk to y'all, but I'm going to introduce, I know everybody's on mute, right? But I just love to introduce my lovely, my beautiful, the awesome, right? I got so many things to call her, right? But my favorite one, she's just big fine for twine, right? And so if you are a single mom, a married woman, a daughter, a niece, an aunt, a grandmother, man, you about to be blessed from this woman, right? And so without further ado, y'all show your love for the awesome, the lovely Queen Beast herself, Chauvon Landry.
Thank y'all so much for having us on here. Just a little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me. I started off a couple of years ago as a single mom, waiting tables and just trying to figure out what direction I was going to take my life in, right? Right before then, I had dropped out of college because I was like, man, I don't want to keep building up this student loan debt if I'm not 100% sure this is really what I want to pursue. And since I was unsure, I ended up dropping out. I got a job. I was working every day, but I was only getting paid every other week. And that just never really quite added up to me, right? And I could never make my paychecks last to the next payday. So that's how I came up with the bright idea. You know what? I'll be a waitress, because then that way every day I'll have some cash in my pocket, gas money, food money, stuff like that. But I worked double shifts, 16 hours a day, holidays, weekends, and I still could not save money. And I was like, man, if I'm working this hard and I can't save money, I mean, how much harder do I have to actually work to be able to save money? And so I realized I needed to do something. I had to do something to switch this thing up. Well, I was introduced to this opportunity twice before I actually got started, right? The first time I was a lot younger, way more immature, and really could not grasp the bigness of the opportunity and what it really truly could become for me, right? And so the first time I was like, wait a minute, is this a financial firm? And they said yes. I was like, oh, I'm no good with money, so I probably shouldn't be nowhere near this thing, right? But what I didn't realize, y'all, was I wasn't good with money. My mom wasn't good with money. Her mom wasn't good with money. And so God was trying to connect me to this firm so I could break a generational curse. But at the time, I was too young and immature to really see the blessing that he was trying to manifest, right? And then the second time around, I was like, hold on a second, do they dress up all the time? They said yes. I was like, oh, I don't like dressing up. Have you ever been around a girl that's always broke, but she always have excuses? It's like, girl, that's why your ass is always broke, because when opportunity presents itself, you have every excuse in the book for why you shouldn't pursue it back, right? Well, I was that girl. But listen, at some point in your life, you get tired of being broke, okay? So the third time it came around, I was like, okay, I'm listening. I'm all ears. I had just recently been laid off from my job. I had a new baby to take care of. And I'm thinking, listen, I'm in the middle of a crisis right now. I may need to listen to what's going on. And I tell people, that's why you don't curse your crisis. Because sometimes your crisis is only present because it's the only way you'll be open to even hearing about a new opportunity, or even being open to receiving the information about an opportunity that could take you to the next level, right? And so I went to this event, this big event that I was invited to, and I saw nothing but young women making money. And I was like, hold on a second. She looked like she's in her late 20s and she's making six figures. At the time I was in my late 20s, but I'm often down to my last $6. I might just want to pay attention to what's going on here, right? So I got home, y'all. That was it. That did it for me. That's why you don't miss big events, right? I got home. I told my friends, I said, listen, I'm about to become a financial coach. Okay, they're going to be teaching me the money game, and at least one person from every family needs to get on the inside of the money industry so we could learn it and master it and stop struggling with it generation after generation, right? Not only that, they're going to teach me the investment game and the life insurance game. And frankly, y'all, I'm tired of these people dying and passing on poverty when they could be passing on wealth. I said, listen, they're going to even teach me how to open my own franchise. You better roll with me, honey, because I will not be broke forever, okay? And they're looking at me like I'm completely crazy, right? Because they're thinking, hold on a second, you borrowed money from us to go on this trip. But then you come back in town talking about you're going to be our financial coach. This don't even make any type of sense, right? And I said, listen, they said they're going to train me on everything I need to know. I told them I dropped out of college. They're still going to take me without a degree. I'm going to check this thing out. You understand me? I said, at the end of the day, y'all, I didn't have nothing to lose. At the time, I was a single mom struggling to pay my bills every month. Every single month, I came up short. You understand me? So I said, if this thing did not work, I would still be a single mom struggling to pay my bills. So what really would I have lost? I'd be in the exact same situation, right? But what if it works? What if this thing works? I get a financial education. I become successful. I'm put in a position where I can help other women become successful. I had so much more to gain than I had to lose. I said, I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I don't need y'all permission to get rich. And I tell my team, that's the type of women I'm looking for. I'm looking for the type of women that don't need somebody's permission to get rich. I'm looking for somebody that hate having a boss. Because man, if you love the boss you have, it's going to be hard for me to teach you how to become one, right? I'm looking for the big dreamers, the competitive ones, the hard workers, the ones who are frustrated, ready to do something about their lives right now. I'm looking for the ones that say, I know I'm supposed to be a success. I know I'm supposed to be wealthy. You see the way I shop? I'm supposed to be rich, right? But they just need the blueprint, the mentorship, the industry, and the guidance to help them get there. And that's what I want to help them do, right? And so, and don't get me wrong, I tell people all the time, we obviously have men on our team, but in my personal opinion, I just think they have way more opportunities open to men than they do for the women out there, right? And so when I found an opportunity that paid women the same way it paid men, I was all on top of this thing. And so now, y'all, right now we own and operate the most profitable franchise in New Orleans, Louisiana. Not only that, we have agents across several states. We have Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, North Carolina, Tennessee, Chicago, Ohio, Florida, New York, and we just got an agent last week in California. Listen, we are expanding like crazy because of this season. Let me explain something to you. I told my team this. I don't know what this season was designed to do to us, but I'm about to tell you what we're about to do to it. We are coming out of this season, and we're coming out of this on top because God have a way of making sure that it works out in your favor if you never stop working. You understand me? So I said, I don't know if this season was meant to bury us or not, but we're not going down without a fight. And we're going out and we're coming out of this on top. And that's exactly what we've been doing. We came out of this on top, breaking records and running numbers that we've never ran. We always knew we could, but now this is the easiest money we'll ever make. Do you realize we're making the most money we've ever made in our pajama pants? I mean, this thing don't get no better. You understand me? We close business in the morning in Tennessee, and then in the evening in Ohio, and at nighttime we can close business in New Orleans and never use any of our gas money. I mean, come on. If you're not going to win in this season, when are you going to win? This is the easiest money you will ever make. You get to spend time with your kids. I mean, the most time we've ever gotten to spend with them, right? And still be at our highest level of productivity. If you don't do it now, then when? I mean, it's laid out for us. People are looking for us. I told my team all the time, you know, we have 400,000 people in New Orleans. You got to know your numbers. I don't know y'all numbers, but in New Orleans, we have 400,000 people. In the state of Louisiana, we have 4 million. Right? And so it mind boggles me when we have 400,000 people and I have an agent that don't have 3 on the board. And I'm trying to figure out, hey, hold on a second. We got 400,000 for you to choose from, right? But when I was a little girl, you know, my mom used to say, look, go over there, turn left, look up and bring it back to me. And I used to say, I didn't see it. I couldn't find it. And she'd tell me to go back over there, go look again, go exactly where I told you to look. And I would go back. I couldn't find it. And I'll tell her again, I can't find it. And she said this one statement. She said, Chauvon, if I get up. And I already knew that meant problems, right? If she gets up and go to the same spot and can't find it, right? And she get up, but she got up, man. And she walked right where I went. And she looked and she found it. And she came back. She said, you know why you couldn't find it? I said, why? She said, because your ass wasn't really looking for it. You get what I'm saying? And so I tell my team, you know why you can't get 3 recruits on the board, 10 recruits on the board, 20 recruits on the board, and we got 400,000 people in the city? Because your ass ain't looking for it. Because they're out there, they looking for you more than ever. Let me tell you something. That used to be our numbers. 400,000 in the city, 4 million people in the state, but now it's 38 million people that have been laid off that's looking for us. So when you don't have people on the board, that means you're not in the blessing business. You're not offering blessings every day of the week, every hour of the day. I'm talking to somebody about how this opportunity could bless them. I'm talking to somebody about how this opportunity have blessed me. But even before it blessed me, I was talking to people about how it was going to bless me. In the future, I spoke about where I was going if I wasn't there yet. You get what I'm saying? So we boggled down. We started telling people, listen, don't get confused about all the different opportunities you have out there that people are talking to you about. Understand there's only one. Okay, at the end of the day, it's the life insurance industry. And I tell them it's 3 questions you got to ask yourself if you're serious about making cash from your couch. 1, you got to ask yourself, what industry can I connect to that's not fazed by the market? Right? That's a very important question because some of these industries only do well when the market is up. So if I have a real estate license and the market is up, I make a little money. Why? Because they're buying and selling houses a little bit. But as soon as that market goes down, so does my income. Right? But I told them there is no better time than right now than to have a life insurance license. Because when the market is up, babies are being born and people are dying. And when the market is down, babies are being born and people are dying. See, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world, whether we have to stay inside or go outside, 2 things that will never change. Babies will continue to be born. People will continue to be dying, which means if I have a life insurance license, I am always in position to help these families and to make money. Not only that, the life insurance industry is an industry that don't go out of style. You understand that? I don't know, ladies, I don't know if y'all remember this, but think back to about 2 to 3 years ago, every other post on our Instagram was a waist trainer. Do y'all remember that? Like every other post. Here it is years later, and I done gained these quarantine pounds. I can't find nobody with a waist trainer. And I'm trying to figure out where did they all go, right? And so what I realized, y'all, was that was an opportunity that was just hot at that time, right? But life insurance don't go in and out of style. Listen, it's something that they will always need. We will need it. Our kids, their kids, and theirs. This is an industry that you can get paid off of for generations and generations to come. This is something that there's not one generation coming behind us that won't need this information. You get what I'm saying? So we are always in business. When you choose a company in the industry, you got to choose one with a long-term track record and with an industry that's not going anywhere. And that's what I told my team. And that was the message that we were conveying to the people when we were introducing them introducing them to the opportunity, we had to explain to them how powerful this industry was. Don't get confused about all that stuff out there, because some of that stuff is going to fizzle out. You got to get connected to an industry that's not going anywhere, to a company that can afford to pay you through the good and bad times of the world. You get what I'm saying? Our company never stopped paying us. Never stopped. And they have these people who just been unexpectedly laid off, no money saved, no money in the bank. And just like that, they have to wait on the government. No, listen, I said they're giving out bonus checks bigger than the stimulus. You better get connected with us ASAP, right? So we can change your life forever. And so that's what we've been talking to our team about. We've been adamant about coming out of this thing on top. That has always been something that we've said and got focused on. And that's just what happened, y'all. I told my team, I said, listen, regional vice presidents will look back on that season and say, it was in that season that I made the decision to get promoted to regional vice presidents. Six-figure earners will look back and say, it was in that season that I was able to turn my momentum around and my business got going again. And just like that, man. And you know, and this is another thing I tell them, Karma. I said, listen, you know, before we used to hear a lot of people say, you know, coach, I couldn't do enough appointments to hit my goals this month because, you know, my job got in the way. You know, my boss didn't want to let me off this weekend. I know it was month end, but my boss didn't want to let me have the weekend off, right? And so now I told my team, I said, oh, here we go. We about to see it now. Y'all not working. We about to see who really been getting in the way. Who is it? Is it really your boss? Or was it really you the entire time? I said, now you about to put on front and center. We about to see, was it you the whole time getting in your own way, or was it really your boss? I said, now you have every hour of the day free. You can Netflix and chill, or you can work and build, but only one of them is going to be connected to generational wealth. So you got to make your decisions wisely in this season, right? So I hope that helps somebody, inspires somebody. I'm going to turn it over now to my partner in life, love, crime, business, and everything else, Antoine Landry.
Right, well, give it up for Siobhan, right? I know y'all on mute, it's all good. We could see y'all and feel y'all in spirit, right? You get what I'm saying? But just soak that in real quick. I told you y'all was going to be blessed in a big time way, right? So just to continue the fire, right? And so, team, when I got introduced to the business years ago, you know, I was one of those people that had a lot of things going on, right? I know we come across those people all the time, right? But I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, right? I have a sports background. I played all sports coming up, but basketball was my sport of expertise, right? After high school, had a full scholarship to play basketball at the University of Louisiana Lafayette, which is a Division I school not too far down the road from LSU, right? A lot of y'all know College Stipper, right? He went to LSU. Well, UL is about 45 minutes down the road from LSU, right? And so I had a good college run. My senior year in college, my team, we won our conference tournament, went to the March Madness dance, did all that and all the kind of stuff, playing on TV, national TV. And watch this, my senior year in college, I was actually fortunate enough to be featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated as one of the top players coming out in the 2004 draft, right? And so keep in mind, team, my boyhood dream was to go to the NBA. So my senior in college, I hit the cover of Sports Illustrated. I was like, I gotta be close to it now, right? And so I never forget, Daniel, I had 5 NBA teams looking at me, considering drafting me out of college. 1 was the Indiana Pacers, 2 was the Washington Wizards, 3 was the Phoenix Suns, 4 was the Charlotte Bobcats, 5 was the New Orleans Hornets, right? And I just know one of them was gonna hit, right? And so I never forget, after that season, me and my family actually flew to New York, right, for the draft, right? It was in Madison Square Garden. Man, listen, team, I had to have one of the cleanest suits, man, you've ever seen, right? I knew I wasn't going first round, but if they called me in the second round, right, I was going to be the star of the second round, right? And so, man, we went up there, lo and behold, did not get drafted, right? And so that sent my basketball career down another path. And so I ended up playing in the NBA Developmental League, right, which is like the minor league for the NBA, right? And so I was playing for a team in Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, did well, played in the NBA Developmental League. They call it the G League today, right? But I did 2 years, had a feature on NBA TV, and I'm telling you, I'm thinking like I'm on my way. So I'm calling home. I'm like, listen, they're asking me twice, how's it going? How's it going up there, right? And all I'm doing, I'm making promises, right? And my biggest promise is like this: if a team gives me a shot, I don't need 30 teams to pick me, but if one team gives me a shot to showcase my talent, I promise you, I'm gonna make it, right? So I'm telling them, get ready. I'm sending a message back home, y'all get ready, right? Man, pack your bag. I'm telling you, whenever I make it, we all make it, right? And so I'm making promises to my parents, right? right? Man, listen, I'm gonna get you a house. You know, like damn Oprah, right? You gonna get a car. You gonna get a house. You gonna get a house, right? The whole situation, right? So I'm like, man, but if they give it to me, I got it, right? You ain't got to worry about nothing. So what happened was I had one experience in my D-League pursuit that changed my life forever, right? And I never forget, I went and worked out for a team in Fort Worth, Texas, right? Called the Fort Worth Flyers, right? And listen, we had a week training camp. And team, I've been playing basketball over 20 years of my life, right? I'm only 37, I've been playing over 20 years, right? It's almost 75% of my life I've been playing basketball, right? So, but this 1 week of training camp had to be one of my best performances in all my 20 years, right? I mean, I was just on, right? And so nevertheless, right, it gets down to cut day. Camp is over, gets down to cut day, right? And so the coaching staff is going back and they're trying to figure out who they're going to keep, who they're going to cut. I'm going to bring back this who they're going to keep, who they're going to cut message in a minute, right? But they're trying to figure out who they're going to keep, who they're going to cut. So all the players, they are huddling up trying to figure out who y'all think they're going to keep, who y'all think they're going to cut, right? So amongst the players, right, everybody's saying, well, Twine, shoot, if this coaching staff got one eye and half a brain, we already know you the starting point guard of this team after the performance you had, right? So I'm thinking I don't have nothing to worry about, right? I know I made it, right? So coach comes back, he puts everybody in the lobby, right? The hotel we were staying at. He said, fellas, listen, if we call your name, listen, we want you to know we appreciate you for coming out, but this is not the end of the world, right? We want y'all to keep working on your game. One day you might make a pro team, right? So I'm in the back of the lobby with my hands on the chair like, man, y'all gonna let these dudes off easy. Man, let's get to playing the games, right? So nevertheless, he runs a list of about 10 to 15 players to get cut. And watch this, not only was my name called on one of them 15, he called me first. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, something's wrong with this picture right here, man. It's like y'all didn't even think about who y'all was gonna release. I'm the first name you thought about after this week, so I'm in total shock. The whole room turned around, looked like a doggone movie, right? Everybody turned around slow motion, like if he got cut first, we don't have a shot, right? But anyway, so I go to the coach. I'm 21, 22 years old. I'm heated as I don't know what, but I gotta keep my cool, right? So I go to the coach. I say, Coach, listen, I appreciate the opportunity, right, to fly me out. But listen, going back home, what would you say I need to work on, right, to improve my game? Because keep in mind, this is my dream. I do want to make a pro basketball team one day, right? Dude, coach looks at me and says, Antoine, I'll be honest with you, right? This past week, man, listen, offensively, you were phenomenal, right? He said, listen, you're real quick guard, can run a team, shoot the ball real well. I mean, we just loved you offensively. I'm like, wait a minute, this don't make no sense. I asked you what I did. I'm looking for correction, right? You telling me all the stuff I did well. This don't make no sense. So I said, well, coach, tell me about my defense, right? Maybe I'm just a liability on defense, right? Daniel, the dude looks at me and said, Antoine, no, to be honest with you, that was the most surprising part of the camp. Man, we flew these other guys in, thought they was going to have their way in the camp, but you just shut them down. They couldn't do nothing, couldn't score, do nothing. I'm saying, wait a minute, I'm real confused now. I'm asking you for critique, right? Because you cut me. You tell me everything I'm doing well, and the dude makes one statement to me, changed my life forever, right? And he looked me in the eye and said, Antoine, I'm gonna be honest with you, but for this past week, you were the best point guard here. But unfortunately, we just have to move in another direction. Shook my hand, walk off. Now it's 21, 22 years old. I'm saying, well, what the hell does that mean? What do you mean I'm the best? But it's unfortunately, you got to move on. That don't make sense. And the reason why it shocked me so much, because y'all got to realize, right? I don't know if y'all came out play sports, right? Or if y'all have kids in sports. But if you play sports, if you had kids in sports, one of the things you tell your kids, even if you're not the coach, is watch this. The kid who works the hardest, right? The kid who shows up early, the kid who stays late. In basketball, we call them gym rats, right? The kid who don't cause no trouble. The kid who gets good grades, right? The kids, when they get their opportunity to perform, they always show out. Those are the ones going to get the spots. Those are the ones that's going to get the playing time. Those are the ones going to get the minutes. Team, you got to realize, for 20 years of my life, I've been sold that play. I've been sold that play. Right, always do the right thing, stay out of trouble, right? Just focus on your day. And I did it. But when I got all the way up to the money, team, I'm 1 foot in the NBA, I'm 1 foot out, right? I'm right here by the money. Then you tell me that situation where you could still actually be the best, but it ends up unfortunate for you. And see, for me, you say, Twine, what that got to do with me? Well, I'm going to tell you what it got to do with you. For me, that was a sporting reality that changed my life. But what happened to me in sports is what happened to people in the workforce, and it's what's happening to people during this season. See, I don't know if you're on the call, but watch this. Have you ever been in a situation where you was the best worker that company have, where you was the best teacher that school have, you was the best nurse in that hospital, you was the best aide, you was the best supervisor, you was the best manager, you was the best director or shift lead or whatever your job title is, but every time you got paid, it was always unfortunate for you? Anybody ever experienced that? Listen, I experienced that one time, right? I don't know how to be better than what I am, but every time it comes to like when I got to give you everything of me, I got to give you my time, I got to give you my focus, I got to give you my energy, right? Man, the company thrives, right? But when it comes time for y'all to take care of me, when it comes time for y'all to take care of me, man, I'm always on the short end of the stick, man. It's always unfortunate for me. I'm the best you got. This company wouldn't run if it wasn't for me. But every time it comes time for you to take care of me, man, you cut me. And one of the biggest things that people are experiencing all across this country, I don't care if they're white, black, Hispanic, whatever, guess what? They've been cut. Some of these people who lost their job, they was the best damn employees them companies had. They was the most loyal, they was the most committed, but when it came time for these companies to pay them, guess what? They got cut. You understand that? They cut you, man. They cut, even if you didn't lose your job, your hours got cut. And if your hours got cut, you're not a full-time employee, guess what? Now your benefits got cut. So the big thing that y'all was hanging y'all hat on for keeping these jobs, you ain't got them no more, right? Because you had to be on a full-time pay cycle to get them, right? So I'm saying, wait a minute. So what I made a decision was that a 21, 22-year-old man was from this day forward, I will never, ever, ever, ever put my family's future, all their goals and dreams in the hands of another man again. It won't ever happen again, right? So guess what I did? Went back to school, right? And to finish my accounting degree, right? Because when I was in college, I studied accounting, thinking it was the money industry, right? And so I figured, you know, one day I was gonna have this big multi-million-dollar contract in the NBA. So I figured the smart thing for me to do while I was in college was to learn how to account for my own money. But team, guess what I learned? Accounting ain't the damn money industry. I know we got accountants on here. Accounting not the money industry, man. It took me 5 years to get my degree in accounting. And guess what I learned? Here's accounting, and it's record keeping, man. You monitor what comes in versus what goes out your house or your business, right? And watch this, how simple it is. As long as you got more money coming in than what's going out, congratulations, save some money for a rainy day or a pandemic now, and make sure you pay your damn taxes, right? That's accounting, but watch this. On the opposite side, if you got more money going out your house or your business versus what's coming in, yeah, it's better call a timeout before you lose that house or that business. That is accounting 101. They got some other stuff, but that's account basics, man. It took me 5 years to, I used to say it took me 5 years to learn. That's not true. It took them 5 years for them to teach me that, right? You could have taught me that in my first damn class and I'd have got it, right? And so, and I always tell you this, man, I learned more about how money works in this country, how rich people have been getting rich for decades, right? And how the financial industry works in my first 60 to 90 days inside of the Primerica business versus the 5 years it took for me to graduate in accounting, right? And obviously, Chauvon told our story. Listen, man, we came to the company, right? And I'm sharing this with people, right? Because here's what I think we got to get if we're going to get big in this season, right? Because this is season to get big, right? But one of the things I used to have, my mentalities I used to have as an athlete, right? I carried over the business. And one of the attitudes was this, right? If there was a company that was gracious, listen to me very good. If there was a company that was gracious enough to give me access, right? Man, to a big industry, right? To a massive compensation system, right? To total control over my work, right? Over my promotions, right? The great thing about Primerica is from day one, they tell you what you got to do. This ain't a company that says, okay, look, just keep working hard. And then 6 months later, we'll check you out. We'll see. No. The day you start, they say, listen, this is what you do to go district. This is what you do to go division. It's all on you, right? So I always said, if somebody gives me if they're gracious enough to give me access for me to go change my life, then guess what? My grind was gonna be tough enough to go get success, right? My grind was gonna guarantee success. If you was gracious enough to give me access, my grind was gonna guarantee success. You understand? I ain't gotta look for no handout. No, just give me access. And one of the greatest things that Primerica ever did for people all around this country from all walks of life is that it gave us access. Do you understand that? To the biggest, most powerful industry in the world. There ain't no discrimination over here. All that's in America. In Primerica, it don't care where you come from. It don't care if you're male, female, old, young, what your background is, all that kind of crazy foolishness that people use to stop people from opportunity. I don't think Primerica cares about if you got a legal background, right? And you got a heart of a champion. If you got a heart of a championship, they're going to give you a jersey, go play the game, change your family life. And I can respect that. You understand that? And so now we are here today. I shared a story with y'all today, and I turn it back over to you, right? So today is Friday? I had a recruiting interview on Monday night, right, with the fellas. So Chauvon kind of talks to the women, right, do the fellas, right? So there was a guy, listen to this story, right? This is a guy, it was on a Zoom, And so we was talking to him. He came through one of my new guys, right? And so he wound up signing up on Wednesday. I talked to him on Monday. He wound up signing up on Wednesday. But the conversation, but this is so important, right? So he's talking, right? So he's in other network marketing, right? You get what I'm saying? He got a cousin do ACN or some crazy fools like that, whatever. So he's telling me, like, I know the game, like I know the lingo, right? All this kind of stuff. And he's from Missouri, right? But he moved to California, right, to pursue his comedic, is that a word? Comedic? Yeah. You know, his comedic entertainment. Yeah. Right. Try to crack a couple jokes on the Zoom. You know, I had to fake laugh just to make it feel good, right? But y'all get what I'm saying. So, but he really wanted fun. Y'all get what I'm saying. But watch. So watch it. So he goes to California to pursue his dream. Now, in the midst of this story, he's saying, so I went out there, but he said I was doing well. I was getting some gigs, but then he had a health situation. I forget what the health situation was or the accident he had, but whatever the health or accident he had, it caused him to be paralyzed. Right, well, whatever happened to him, I don't remember the detail, but the story was he got paralyzed, so he flew back from California because he couldn't stand up, right, do the stand-up thing like that because he couldn't move like that, so he came back home to Missouri. He's working a normal person, right? So we talking to the stuff, we get down to Primerica, right? This is what it is, right? So he says, oh, yeah, I'm familiar with Primerica. I said, okay, but did somebody sit down and talk to you in the past? So I said, we in 2020, right? He said, yeah, I actually got introduced to the business before in 2010. Right? I said, man, 2010, that was a while ago. He said, yeah. I said, I said, this is your second time around, right? He said, no, actually, this is my third time being introduced to Primerica. I said, your third time? He said, yeah. Before 2010, I was introduced to Primerica in 2003, right? So I said, wait a minute, so this is your third time? He said, yeah. So I said, you know, they say third time's a charm, right? He said, yeah, I know. I said, so think about this, right? I said, so this is the third time. I said, now watch this. I bet you any money, right, that in 2003 when you saw it, or in 2010 when you saw it, guess what I'm more than sure people told you, or you might have thought to yourself, that man, this Primerica thing ain't gonna work, man, Primerica this, Primerica that. You probably felt that or got told that in 2003, but I said, you don't think it's crazy that we're 17 years later from the time you got introduced to the company and it's right back at you? You don't think that's interesting? Right? And so whatever people were saying, it lasted 17 years past that point, right? And now we're bigger and better than we've ever been, right? So I said, man, what stopped you, right? What caused you to move forward? He said, well, back then, listen, he said, back then, I was in California. I was in the heart of pursuing my entertainment career, right? Things were going well. He said, but now, 17 years later, I'm paralyzed, right? And that stuff is on the table. Now, why are you sharing this story with me, Coach? Here's what I'm telling y'all, right? Because watch this. For him, it was a physical paralysis, right? But do y'all know how many people are financially paralyzed right now? Listen, a year ago, they were okay, right? A couple, 5-6 months ago, they were okay. Economically, financially, people have been paralyzed. The primary way of them making money has been stopped altogether. And so now what they thought was dependable, what they thought they could count on, guess what? They can't count on it no more. So now this is why the market is bigger, right? And I'm leading to what I told him, right? So I said, so I'm showing him the money, right? The money people making all over the country. And he's looking at the numbers. He's saying, well, what's the cause of this? Like this, we asking, what's the cause of it? Why are people's incomes so high right now in Primerica? Because I got a little taste of it in the past, but you know, I've been away from it. But his question was the first time anybody asked me, what's the cause of the income, right? And so most people would say, you know, we do well. You know what I told them, team? And this is how simple it is to get big right now. You know what I said, you want to know the difference right now? You know, not to say people didn't have major success in Primerica in the past, but now it seems like, man, we popping out $1 million earner. It seems like it's $1 million earner is coming out, you know, every day, every other day, right? So I said, you know, let me tell you what's the difference. He said, what? He said, I said, Primerica's always been a great company. Always. It's always been a great company. It's always stood for the right kind of thing. It's always had great products and services. Always had a great company. Well, watch this. You know what the difference is? Why the incomes are skyrocketing? He said, what? He said, I said, the market is simply listening now. That's it. I said, think. He said, what are you talking about? He said, I said, listen, in the past, one of the challenges that a lot of people claim they have when going to build a business is that they can't get to people. They used to get frustrated, right? They'll prospect, set an appointment, but then when they set an appointment, man, the appointments don't keep like that, right? Somebody's always giving an excuse of why we can't sit out. But do y'all realize what this corona season did for a lot of people? Guess what? It stripped them of their distractions of why they can't sit down and listen. Because of social distancing, People are not out and about like that no more. Do you understand that? We're not traveling like we used to, right? We're not even, kids are not, for those who have kids are not involved in extracurricular activities like that, right? Where they're around massive people. That was a big thing. Why parents said they couldn't meet on Tuesday night or Thursday night or Saturday night, because the kids might have practice. Do you understand? Ain't no practices. Do y'all realize how many people drink? Man, with bars being closed, people are not going to happy hour like that. They got some people forcing it, right? Because they just got to get a drinking. But for the law said, man, sit your behind out. So think about it. One of the reasons why people used to cancel on you is because it's not because they had something productive to do. No, they just wanted to get a drink with their friends. And your 7 o'clock appointment ran into their happy hour drink. The bars are closed, man. So think about that. We're not traveling as much. The bars are closed. We're not at weddings like that. We're not having anniversary. Do y'all know there's people that go out to eat 3 times a day? Man, they go out to eat in the morning time. They go out to eat for lunch. Man, they go out to eat for dinner, because restaurants have, not all of them, but a lot of them have shut down. We're not in large restaurants in evening time. So you say, where's everybody at? They're at home. So now the excuses that people used to give us of why they couldn't sit down or why they had to reschedule, guess what, team? They all is right now. They have absolutely nowhere to go. And so part of the reason why the numbers are skyrocketing all over the country is because the stuff that we always wanted the market to do, not to buy, all we ever wanted the market to do was listen, right? And if the market just gave us the time to listen, right, to the Primerica story, right, how we help people financially, we always knew that the thing would sell itself. And now the people are actually listening. And by them listening, guess what they realize? Damn, what y'all do is right. And that does make sense. Damn, you're right. Damn, man, that is a great opportunity. And so now the number, man, go look at the scoreboard. Man, 100 recruits a month, like that used to be like for the top 5, right? Top 5 people, he used to have 100 recruit-based shop. Man, listen, man, listen, T, I'm gonna show you what's crazy right now. We had 101 recruits for the month, right? We're number 25. We're number 25 in the nation. So listen, and don't even add the company dropping the price. Are you kidding? For 5 months? I thought they was gonna do it for maybe 2 months. I did not think Primerica was going to keep that thing 49 for no 5 months, man. If that ain't a blessing, I don't know what is. But that's what I told him. I said, man, that's the only difference. The market is listening. This is the best time for you to go build a business. I don't care if you got introduced in the past or not. Why? Because it is easier to have the conversation, right, about making money passively, right, or about protecting your family, or about getting serious about building your savings, your investment. It's easy to have that conversation. And now people are less distracted. People think they're more distracted. Now they're less distracted, right? And now we can sit down and watch their day. They ain't got to get dressed up. They could cut on their Zoom and just show their top, right? You ain't got to see your back. They just show your top, so it don't even matter if your pants are wrinkled or whatever the case may be. You just got to show me this up here. Just show me this up here, right? And they listening. And if the market is listening, then we all can make it. Right? So I hope that inspired y'all, Dave. Come on, I'll turn it back over to y'all to finish it up.
Wow. That was freaking unbelievable. You guys are such heroes in the company and just in the world. I'm just telling you, you just inspired the masses right now. So exciting to be around people like that. And I think that really what separates you guys from so many people is your high energy and your competition and you're wanting to be somebody and do something great. And I think it's I think from a sports background as well, I think that's a big piece of it. This is why you were successful in sports. It's why you're successful in business. You're willing to show up early. You're willing to stay late. You're willing to inspire. You're willing to work your ass off. You're willing to do everything that other people aren't willing to do to go get a better life for your family. And so, look, the only thing I want, a couple things I want to ask you guys, and I won't keep you very long, but I think that most people want to know, was there a time where it was tough? Was there a moment that it was tough? Where was there a doubtful period of your Primerica career? Because there's so many people out there, man, they've been around here a long time and it just ain't happening for them. Did you ever go through that time, and what did you say to yourself to get out of that?
That's a great question. I'll kick it off. Just so you know, it took us 4 years to go RVP, right? And then, you know, but what we learned in that journey, though, we was able to set a company record once we went RVP, right? One of the things that helped me, so let me answer the question straight up. Yes, we had a tough time. I don't think there's any entrepreneur that doesn't have a tough period, right? But spiritually, how we dealt with it is part of your spiritual understanding, right? Everything has a season. There's a season for everything. Everything's temporary, right? Like, no matter how bad this COVID season is, y'all do realize it's going to end. Now, nobody knows, but it's not going to last forever. We've always had crazy diseases. They came up and said they was going to do it, and it lasted for a season. It's over. So my point is, one of the things that kept we kept talking to each other about was, this is only a season. This is only a season. It's not going to last forever, right? Bible says faith comes by hearing. But no matter how tough it is, you got to keep reminding yourself, like a good song, this is only a season. It's not going to last forever, right? But watch this. Then you said something about, did we ever doubt? Even though we had tough seasons, we never doubted, right? And part of the reason why we never doubted our ability was 4 reasons from my standpoint. One was, I always, from a spiritual standpoint, like, my belief in my Heavenly Father never wavered, right? And as big as God is, I never fell victim to the doubt that he didn't love me enough to put the right type of person in my vicinity tomorrow. Like, no matter who I set an appointment with today, no matter who quit on me, no matter who changed their mind, no matter who, like, you know how big God is? Like, God is so, like, that, whoever that person was, or whatever that relationship was, that's not the only relationship in the world. Oh, man. Like God got so many people ready for you to lead, right? So I never lost sight of that. And part of me keeping my belief that high in the fact that if I act, right, if I just focus on doing the right thing, not being perfect, but if I focus on doing the right thing and I just kept working, my spiritual belief said God was going to reward my effort. That if I just kept reaching out to people, doing the right thing, learning, getting good, he was going to bless me or give me a favorable situation with the right recruit or with the right client that will lead me to another market. But part of keeping that doubt down and belief high, man, you got to know who your source is, man. Like, please do not put God in a little bitty box. No, he's created everything. So that was one. Number 2, I never lost belief in the company. I think a lot of times, man, we talk to bum people, and then you start looking at Primerica sideways, as if Primerica's the bum and the market is the superstar. No. You better never do that. No, it's always opposite. Primerica's the superstar. Some people are bums, right? Some people, even though you present them with good stuff, they don't want to change. That doesn't mean Primerica isn't good enough, or that doesn't mean Primerica isn't a quality company. No, it's just that they can't see it. So part of keeping the belief high during the tough time was I never wavered my faith in the company that I had my hands on. Like I told you earlier, it's about access, right? And there's a lot of places that do not give average and ordinary people access. Am I crazy? Do y'all realize, man, we can go build massive businesses, no territory limits for, and I'm not talking about the $49 deal. Yeah, but for me, it was $99. I know it's probably more than that, but that, listen, it was $99 for me. I'm a tennis shoe guy. All my tennis shoes are $200, man. So the fact that I can go spend less than a pair of tennis shoes to go build a business and get access to mentors, right? But, you know, from all over the country, even if I'm not part of the organization, we can tap. That doesn't happen. I never lost sight of that. And I always told myself, if I leave, and this is for everybody, as tough as it is, if you leave, where are you running to? If you leave, if you say it's too tough here, think about this. What's the other millionaire? Let's say you got a millionaire coach, which y'all freaking do, right? And he sells the dream like you won't believe. But if you leave, who's the next multi-millionaire person you about to attach to that knows your name, that actually can call you on a cell phone, that actually will accept a call from you just to talk about life? Who is it? What's his name? What's her name? And what I realized was that no matter how tough it was, if I leave, I lose the connection. I lose the $1 million mentorship. I don't have it outside of Primerica. Do you understand that? I know a couple guys that's in the league, but they're concerned about themselves. They ain't worried about trying to bring me there, but this was the only place that gave me the connection. Do y'all realize to become millionaires, you need a connection? It's not just working hard. No, yeah, that's part of it. No, you need a $1 million connection so you can stay on the line and get to your $1 million. I realized if I left, I wasn't just leaving Primerica. No. I was leaving the connection on the table, and I was going to be disconnected from millions of dollars for the rest of my life, and I didn't want that. So no matter how tough it was, I was very clear about I cannot get these relationships nowhere else in the world. So that kept me here, right? And third and fourth thing is real simple. I never lost belief in myself. You know, and I think that's something we got to talk to people about. You know, self-esteem is a real deal, man. And I don't care if it's Primerica or anything else in your life. You're not going to achieve a high level of success if you don't believe in yourself, man. And so I had three things that I kept with me. Number one, I'm a child of God, right? So I believe I'm talented, right? Don't mean I'm perfect, but I do believe I'm talented, right? Number two, I've never been afraid of hard work. Sports background, I was a 4.0 student in school, right? So academically, I've never been afraid of hard work. So when people come in Primerica and they ask, well, what I got to do? One of the questions I've never asked is, you know, well, what does it take? How long does it take? Listen to me, team. In order to be successful in anything, you got to put some time and you got to put some work in, right? So I knew that, but I wasn't afraid of that, right? And the last thing was, I have the ability to learn anything. Do y'all realize that? None of y'all, I mean, you know, nobody has a learning disability on here, right? No. I have the ability to learn new things. So the only thing I asked myself was, in Primerica, no matter how tough it was there always somebody I could lean on to teach me what I think I didn't know? And guess what the answer is in Primerica? Yes. That's one excuse nobody has in this company. None of y'all have the excuse that there ain't no teachers in Primerica. But they got so many people love to talk, but we could talk hole in your head, right? So we ain't never got a teacher issue, right? It's always, are you going to allow your life circumstances to bog you down mentally to where you don't want to listen? And at that standpoint, that ain't your leader's fault. That ain't Primerica's fault. That ain't the devil's fault. That is your fault, right? And so we just understood those basic things, and that helped us. For me, I know for me, especially from a man, that helped me get through the tough times, just keeping those understandings on the forefront of my head and my circumstances on the back of my brain.
Awesome. That's freaking awesome. Did you want to add to that, Chauvon?
Yeah, you know, I would always say that we have to endure so much criticism when we start on our path of pursuing entrepreneurship. We get all of these titles put on us because people don't understand our new level of commitment to our new schedule, to our new business, right? And so they start to say things like, you're a bad mom, you always have the kids in the office, or you're a bad daughter, you hardly ever make the family barbecues, and you know, and that thing isn't going to even work, and you're doing all of this and that thing isn't going to even work. And so when I was going through the bad times, when some of the, you know, when I would come home and have some of the worst nights ever and be in my bed crying because I'm thinking, why isn't it not clicking for them? Why can't they see what I see? Why can't they see the bigness? One thing that I always reminded myself that at some point, one of us are going to have to say, I told you so. So at some point, either they are going to tell me, I told you that business wasn't going to work. I told you it was a waste of time. I told you you shouldn't have missed the weddings, the baby showers, the birthday parties. I told you you shouldn't have had those kids in that office. Or it was going to be me saying, I told you this thing was going to change my life. I told you this was going to be worth it. I told you I was going to retire you with this thing. I told you I couldn't make all the weddings and barbecues and stuff like that because I wanted to put my kids in the best schools and build a business that they could take over. I told you it would be worth it. And so those nights when I cried in my bed, I remembered that one of us is going to have to say, I told you so. And damn it, it's going to be me. And that's how I got the energy to get up and go right back after it the next day and say, I'm not going to hear, I told you so. I'm going to be the one saying it.
Wow. Guys, this is, I'm telling you, we could do this for another 2 hours, but look, the last thing I want to ask you guys, just give us your greatest, what can we do? Like, look, we got a couple of days left. Right? There's 67 people on the call right now. And everybody, we could double the size of the production by the end of the month if we really wanted to, just with the people on the call right here. What are you telling your team, right? I want you to take 1 minute and act like you're talking to your team right now And you got, look, no bullshit, okay? Like, I don't want you to hold back. I want you to tell, like, pretend I just handed over my hierarchy to you, okay? Here you go, man. Here you go. What are you going to tell your team to make sure they close out with some energy and some strength?
I tell my team this is the work right now. This is what work is right now. This. Copying and pasting, texting, sending out messages, making phone calls, setting appointments, commenting on people's pages, liking, sliding in DMs. This is work. Like, if you can't do this, I can't get you paid, because this is the easiest money you'll ever make. You can literally do it from your bedroom. So if you don't want to get paid in this season, it's because you just don't want to. You don't have a need for the money, or you just don't really want to do the easiest work ever to necessarily done in this season. And I tell people, listen, we have to load up these calls. All you have to do is get them to click the link. Click the link and we're going to take it from there. Get them to click the link. I don't need you to give them a grand story and stuff like that. Get them to click the link and tell them you're not going to be doing nothing at 12:30 anyway but sitting down watching TV. So why not hop on a money conversation? You're not going to be doing nothing but scrolling down Instagram anyway. So why not hop on a conversation that could change your life? And if it don't, you didn't lose nothing. You sat in the same spot on your couch anyway, right? But get them to click that link and we will take it from there and make sure that we get your businesses built for you. But you got to do your part. You got to meet us halfway. I tell my team all the time, I can't build you an empire with 10 people. I just can't do it. I like to think that I'm the best, right? But I can't build you an empire with 10 people. You're going to have to come to the table with more than 10, right? And so right now, we're in a season where you can slide into people's DMs, man, post on their page, man, call them, set appointments, email them. The average person picking up their phone 150 times a day. So if you don't have people clicking the link, you're not putting your information in enough phones. Get your information to those phones. Ask them, how would you feel if another pandemic came around and you were laid off unexpectedly with the same amount you had in your bank account again? What this last 90 days have taught us is that everybody needs to have another source of income on deck that they can turn on at any given moment. Do you have that? Because that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Click that link. And so I told people, if you can get good at telling them to click the link, we can get you paid and promoted in this season. But if you can't get them to click the link, that means you messed up before you got to us, and we can't fix that. You got to go clean that up yourself on your own time, right? But get them to click that link, and we're going to take it from there.
Right. Also, and this is what I would tell the team, man. And I'm gonna treat y'all like athletes right now. So please don't crucify me for it. Right? But here's my point, though. Alt Williams was famous for many things, but one of his world famous statements was, "All you can do is all you can do." Well, I remixed it, right? I got a beast mix to it, right? And my thing is this, right? As we go in the fourth quarter, my question is all you got, all you got? Right? Is all you got, all you got? Like, whatever your numbers is, I don't care where they are. Is all you got, right? The numbers you got right now, is that all you got? Right? And listen, if we playing for a championship team, one thing I'm going to talk to y'all about is making history, man. Like, every company, every team, every hierarchy in this business has the power to make history, right? To do something that's never been done. And my challenge to y'all would be, is to prepare to make history next month, right? So you use this month, the close of this month, as the warm-up, right, for making history next month. And if you are part of a team, this is what we saw a lot of teams, if you are part of a team that's on the brink of making history, then don't become a mystery. Right? No, you don't become a mystery. We fighting to make history. No, put your stamp on it, right? Man, that's something that always driven me as an athlete, right? If I was on a championship team and we was fighting to do something, we was fighting to break a record, we was fighting to go undefeated, I just didn't want to be no bench player. No, when y'all made the plaque, see, y'all got to think about the plaque that's going to be made, right? When this hierarchy go do something that's never been done, think about the plaque. Right? And listen, if your name is not on it, for the contributor, right, man, this person contributed this. When we broke history, when we made history, we broke a record, man, it was because of these people. If your name's not on the list, that's whack. See, you got to get your name on the plaque. If your name is not on the plaque, then that's whack. Don't tell me you were part of a team, but then there's no contribution. So he said, look, we got almost 70 people on here. Do you know how powerful it is if everybody ran to one? See, I think sometimes we get so caught up in 10, 20, 30. No, one, the power of one. Do y'all realize if everybody ran to one by one in 5 friggin' days, we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we got 5 days to finish strong. And we got We got the extended the time on month end. But if everybody made a commitment, no, I'm take that back. Dang, I take that back. No, if everybody makes an unbreakable commitment, that's the difference. Everybody makes commitments, but only the winners make unbreakable commitments. Like once I tell you I'm gonna run the 1x1, you can count it done. See, I think we got to start a list. This is how we got to start a list, right? Listen, coach, I'm in the fourth quarter, I'm gonna run the 1x1. Man, count it done, and then make a list, right? No, I'm not going 5 days. As big as my God is, right, as open as the market is, and how much of a hard work, I'm not going 5 days and I don't hit 1x1. Listen, the players run the 1x1, count it done, and then make your, look, before you score, put your name on the list. Like, start putting your grind to the work. Put your grind to the test, man. But that would be amazing if you had 70 people did 1x1,000 in 5 days. The whatever, y'all would do another 70 recruits and 70,000 in premium in 5 days, just on the power of one. And team, do y'all realize the lowest number of accountability I can give you above 0 is 1? Let that sink in for a sec. I can't challenge you to do nothing smaller than that's 0. Team, that's 0. The next number above 0 is 1. I can't hold you accountable to a number smaller than 1. And if we're talking about doing something special, man, challenge yourself. You got 5 days to run the 1. And then see what happens to the organization, right? So that's my challenge to y'all, man. Look, y'all do damn near another 100 by 100. Ain't that
You
crazy?
guys are unbelievable, man. Thank you so much for your time, for your wisdom, for your stories. And I love this business so much because now, especially with Zoom, we get to fly all over the country, like through Zoom, right? We get to fly all over the country, and we get the opportunity to meet great people like you guys. God bless you. We wish you the best. We are your biggest fans. We appreciate you. We love you guys. And if there's anything that myself or any of us can do for you to help, your organizations or inspiration or whatever, man, we are here for you. And so, hey, let's kill this last 5 days, man. Let's go do something big. Let's go do something powerful. Let's break some records. Let's inspire the world. And let's do it now. God bless, guys. Have a great day.
Keep selling the dream, baby. Keep selling. Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all for having us.